So this video can be seen as part 3 or the intro. Either way, it's very important. It's about the Jim Crow era laws. First, let me remind you of who I am. When we look at the countless quotes of martial artists from various systems, various factions of systems, like factions of karate, people started their own type of karate and so on and so forth, talking about the fact that character is really what's important in martial arts. It's an expression of character. Martial arts are lifestyles, life paths. So moral precision, moral maturity, moral courage, focus, moral intensity obviously means that obviously these things are scales of who is the top martial artist, okay? More than actual breaking bricks, even Olympic competitions. In a sense, even my top martial arts challenge, okay? Which shows my moral precision and focused moral intensity when we put it into its context, its greater context, and the sabotage that's obviously occurring with 20 witnesses. Nowhere in American history do we have anywhere near someone near comparable to what I've accomplished. Nor do we have them slipping over the words because they've been fumed and poisoned like I am. Okay, nor do we have a martial art challenge that's comparable to mine, where it pinpoints exactly what a martial art challenge needs to be, an outdoor sparring challenge that's open for everyone, with no ill-gotten gains, no treachery, etc. So by default and by far, I am the top martial artist in American history, and when we apply all the other evidence, we see that I'm the top martial artist ever, especially with evolution, natural evolution considered, building up. Okay, so the Jim Crow era laws, 1800s to 1964 or 1965, when a series of acts were passed that generally ended the Jim Crow era laws, but they did not end the sentiments, behaviors, and social clubs and institutions, the greater establishment's network that is racist. The left wing and the right wing basically are historically racist political parties. The Democratic Party was where the Klan used to be disproportionately. Now it's disproportionately the Republican Party. They're historically racist. They come up with ideas of how to control black people. Black people are still in poverty. Okay, they still use invalid scales of intelligence and human worth. After all these years, eugenic policies, eugenic processes are still applied. Scientific racism is still applied. Cultural imperialism, unfairness, social injustice, romantic injustice is still an extreme disgrace. Okay, so in 1864, the Civil Rights Act was passed. The Voting Rights Act was passed in 1965. And again, this generally ended the Jim Crow era laws, not behaviors. The sentiments, attitudes, behaviors, etc. still exist. So this sheds light on who is doing what and why. Okay? For example, the KKK's burning the cross was based on the Scottish clans burning crosses to signal each other on the hills. It's also based on the idea of who is carrying the light of Christianity. Jesus said to be the light of the world. It says put a lamp on its stand. So where is the light of God? Is it a Luciferian Ku Klux Klan light, or is it going to be the true light of God, Hebrews and Afro-Asiatic language, through a righteous person with a good heart, the top martial artist? The Lord is a warrior, Exodus 15:3, Isaiah 42:13. The Lord is going to march out like a warrior, stir up his zeal in truth and not with some kind of white privileged clan, secret kind of political social club network nonsense, which we see in every church that is allowed today. Okay, my goal isn't to flatter anybody or to unnecessarily insult anyone. It is to tell the truth, and that is the truth. Every culture that is allowed today is an extreme disgrace. Okay, and it's obviously so. People just play stupid. It's what gaslighting is about, and that's part of psychology and white supremacist psychology and cult psychology, etc. And the Klan is basically a cult. Okay, the whites and Jews on record were part of the Klan. The Klan's central philosophy, the first Klan, was not anti-Jewish. This is something they came around with later, and there were still people who are Jews in the closet who are part of the Klan. Okay, I'm sure you all understand that is true. All right, so the separate but equal laws that came about, okay, In the 1870s, the 1870s ruling that upheld Plessy versus Ferguson that maintained these separate but equal segregation nonsense. Okay. We see. Okay, so we know what segregation is: the restaurants, the transportation, the bathrooms. They're trying to keep these people separate, and they had everything to do with reproduction. To keep blacks from marrying whites, there was laws against blacks marrying whites. All right. In 1959, the public schools were ordered to be desegregated, but they continued to segregate. And this is the same thing as, racist policies were supposed to end, and that's part of what this Voting Rights Act was about. The Civil Rights Act, you're supposed to have civil rights, but they're violating my civil rights. The society at large, the federal government in this case, refuses to pass federal laws and to have federal processes that secure my civil rights. So they're poisoning me, okay, unofficially, okay. They are persecuting me, they're fuming me, they're sabotaging me. They turned everyone in my life against me. This is a violation of my human rights and civil rights. And once again, in 2020, and this has been going on for quite some time in my life, arguably my whole life in a sense, but certainly in the last 10, 12 years since I started making videos, they're violating my rights in the name of preserving the pre-existing social orders, which are basically white social orders and token minority social orders. Okay. So my aim, so who am I? That's why I just started off this video by describing who I am. My aim, I am the way to do things right. What I represent, who I am the king of doing things the right way. I'm the king of truth. I am the king of how to actually have a life. Not an oppressor, slave, master-run, fake liberty kind of life, okay? Moral precision, moral maturity, moral courage, focus, moral intensity, through sabotage and loyal to God. This is who I am, okay? Justice, righteousness, the moral warrior spirit. This is who I am. My aim is to do God's work and to make it clear to you that there's no valid moral path after I die because of all these horrible things you've done. And history makes it obvious that it is so. No one can be established through wickedness. So 2 Peter 2, I guess it's 2:19 or 2:10. See, they fume me so much. We'll just read it. They promise them freedom while they themselves are slaves of depravity. For people are slaves to whatever has mastered them. King James Version. While they promise them liberty, they themselves are slaves to corruption. For by whom a person is overcome, by him also he is brought into bondage. So if they pay me compensation, okay, they'll have at least done that, but it doesn't change the outcome. It's too late to change the outcome. You've poisoned me too much. You've cheated the righteous for too long. There is no moral path. I am God's representative. That is my call. Not every Christian in every Abrahamic faith, not every other person in the world put together. That's my call. None of you are doing the right thing. You're all the aggressors in this situation. I am God's representative. I'm the representative of truth, morality, justice, righteousness. I'm the true representative of martial arts. None of you are. You are all rebels who are in a fugue state of mind, in a crazy state of mind, who are fleeing from moral responsibility. Responsibility. You are not responsible. But you are responsible for oppressing me, and who is slack in his work is kin to one who destroys, one who is slack in his work is brother to one who destroys, Proverbs 18:9. So seeing how you control women to a T, officially and otherwise, would it hurt to assign them, as my secretary will say, as someone who should follow orders from me? They are not free. They are slaves to what has overcome them, what has mastered them. That's why you call it master masons, master martial artists, masters on a farm, on a plantation. Masters, is another word for masters, general and admiral, your ranks that you assign. Okay? As part of the compensation, you should give me a home on a beach. You should give me a female assigned to me. Okay? And I should be their master. An attractive woman that I deem fit because you have ordered them to shun me. That is the moral thing to do. There's how things you work according to your law. Then there's the unofficial way things work, which is actually how things work. My share is the entire world, as I'm the only one doing the right thing. But you could at least give me these things. And watch them twist what I've just said and act like sniveling worms. I've made it clear that I'm right.